Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Casual Comic Collector. Today I wanted to give you a little overview of the Moon Knight graphic novel written by Jeff Lemire. Had to read through this recently, and I thought it was pretty good. I have to admit though, I've never read any other Moon Knight comic, and I am not too familiar with the background of the character, so I couldn't say whether Lemire stuck to the canon on Moon Knight or whether he went in a completely new direction. But sort of coming at it from a fresh perspective, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was very interesting. It covered a lot of topics which I thought were quite heavy, not least the issue of mental health. Basically, the character of Moon Knight has a lot of different personas, and I think Lemire plays it, or at least writes it, in a way that the character himself doesn't know who he really is. I think for the largest part of the run, you're not too sure whether he. He pops up in a mental institution, and whether you don't know if he's been there his whole life, or whether that's something that he's only been put into recently. And there's a lot of jumping back and forward between different characters' perspectives and different storylines and different timelines. So I think you do get thrown off a little bit, and I think rereading it would be recommended just to sort of remind yourself of some of the things that happen early in the storyline, which might be confusing because without any perspective, without any context, they don't really make sense. But what I also thought was particularly interesting is there are 3 or 4 different personas he has. And within this graphic novel, every time the different character or the different persona pops up, it's illustrated by a different artist, which I thought was a nice touch. It just gives you a clear trigger to know from which character's perspective we're hearing the story then. So yeah, this is the hardback version of the graphic novel. You can see these are the. Oh, sorry about that. Let that focus a bit. Oh, it's taking a while. There. So you can see these are the issues that are covered. Collects Moon Knight 1 through 14. Again, like I said, written by Jeff Lemire. With contributions by different artists, of which the main ones are Greg Smallwood and Jordi Belair. I think they draw the main bulk of the comic with a bit of help by Francesco Francavilla, James Stocco, Wilfredo Torres, and Michael Garland. So let's have a look underneath the dust jacket. It's a very clean book, just the moon on the front. Nothing on the spine and nothing on the back. So, yeah, there you go. You see who contributed to the stories. One thing I would also say is I really enjoyed the artwork throughout. I think all of the artists have their own unique style, but it is all really nice art. I really liked it. So, just as a comparison, so this is the perspective from one of Moon Knight's different personas, and let's see if I can find a different one. So I think this is the Space Moon Knight. This is James Stocco's art. This is, God, not too sure what they're called anymore, but even here you can see, even within the span of a few pages, it jumps from one perspective to another to yet another. So I think the story in itself also shows how he is sort of jumping between his different personalities. I think that's also where, yeah, you're just not too sure who he really is, and you can also tell, I think the story plays on the fact that he doesn't even know who he really is. But, yeah, definitely, really enjoyed James Stocco's art. It's quite has quite a lot of detail to it, and Francesca Francavilla as well has a certain sort of noir style to it, which is really cool as well. Tell you what, I'm not going to flip through every single page. Also, apologies if I'm giving too much away. I mean, I want to be fair to the story, but yeah, apologies if there's spoilers. Hopefully, I didn't ruin it too much. But all in all, like I said, it's quite a at times convoluted story, but never never in a bad way. It's complex, but it's a very good story, I think. So it's the kind of thing that if you enjoy Jeff Lemire's work, I think you'd definitely like this as well. And at the end, just a couple of variant covers, but not too much in the way of extras. I mean, it is just a standard graphic novel. But that's it, really. So, like I said, definitely recommend it. Enjoyed it, and love to hear your opinions of it. If you've read it, what you liked about it. If you haven't read it, whether you think you might enjoy it. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. And like I said, if you have any comments or questions, just hit me up at the bottom. Thanks. See you next time.